What's up, y'all? This is Francisco with Covenant Dispatch LLC, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Really quick, guys, like I always say, if this is your first time visiting this channel, do me a favor. Right under this video, hit that like button. In fact, do it right now so that this video can reach a more broader audience and help those who are looking for this kind of information. Secondly, hit that subscribe button, and lastly, hit that notification bell. That way you can be alerted for when we do post future videos. Sometimes we do spontaneous lives, Q&As, giveaways, all types of stuff like that. If you hit that notification bell, you will be alerted for when we are getting ready to do those kinds of things. So, guys, as you can see in the title of this video, we're going to jump right into it and talk about, is independent freight dispatching dead, right? Is it like a thing of the past? Is it something that isn't going to carry on into the future? Is it a crashing industry? Yada, yada, yada. Now, here's the thing, right? And in a way, I was forced to make this video, right? I didn't even want to make this video because I don't like making these doom and gloom clickbait style videos, right? And of course, this isn't a clickbait video. The reason why I'm even making this video was actually motivated by an email that I recently received from an individual, and they sent me a video of another YouTuber who speaks along the lines of freight dispatching as well, and them just kind of sharing their thoughts of freight dispatching and the possibility of it being dead because of more recent policies that DAT released when it comes to DAT allowing access to independent freight dispatchers on their load board as well as people overseas. Right now, here's the thing. First of all, for those of you who don't know, DAT load board is a reputable load board. It's probably the best load board, arguably, right now available to go out there and search for loads on the spot market for your trucking company. And so recently, DAT actually allowed independent freight dispatchers to access their load boards without having an operating authority or an MC number, which they previously recommended for you to access their load board. Well, even more recently, DAT relinquished that authorization to be able to access their load board as an independent freight dispatcher. And now, once again, you have to have an MC number or an operating authority, right? So here's my thoughts on that, right? Because I feel like people, when they make these kinds of videos, mostly other YouTubers, they might make it for clickbait purposes. They might make it just to ruffle up some feathers, get more views on their channel. I don't know, right? I don't like making these kinds of videos unless I can absolutely give you guys a solution to the problem at hand. Now, obviously, in the eyes of many people, this would be considered a problem. But for those of you who are seasoned freight dispatchers or have been around long enough, you know that this really isn't just a problem, right? And so I want to give you guys some solutions rather than just talking out the side of my mouth and giving you doom and gloom news, right? And so here's the thing, right, when it comes to what the most recent policies that DAT released. Independent freight dispatching has been a relevant industry within at least the last 3 to 5 years, more relevant because of platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You got more people talking about it, more people coaching and stuff like that. But here's the thing, it's been an industry for the last 3 to 5 years. It's only been, and I could be corrected, I could stand corrected, some of you guys could put it in the comments, but it's only been maybe about 1.5 years since DAT altered their policies and said, hey, we're going to allow access to independent freight dispatchers, which was a good thing. You know, people were excited about it. And then more recently, they relinquished that authorization that they gave to independent freight dispatchers. So it was short-lived, right? It was probably about a good 1.5 years that they allowed that to kind of fly. And now they're saying they don't want it they're not allowing it anymore, right? But here's the reason why I make that point. What do you think independent freight dispatchers were doing prior to having access directly to the DAT load board? You think that they just didn't operate, didn't work, that there weren't loopholes and ways that they could legally still have access either to the load board or ways to still access freight or communication with brokers or anything like that? I mean, guys, really think about that. If the success or failure of an independent freight dispatch company relies on the DAT load board giving you access to their load board, that tells you a lot right there, right? The power of whether or not an independent freight dispatch company experiences success or failure should not rely on whatever DAT says, right? We already covered in other videos that independent freight dispatching is legal, very legal. And I'll put the video at the end of this one, or even put it in the description under this video to show you guys. So that's not the argument, right? And so I want to give you guys two solutions, because I don't want to make a doom and gloom video, clickbait style video. Is independent freight freight dispatching dead? Is the industry dead? Here's the reasons why: because DAT doesn't give us access anymore, and if you're overseas and you're not in the United States, they won't give you access. Which, here's the thing: if you're overseas and you're thinking about starting a independent freight dispatch company, just get you a registered agent that would that you could apply for your LLC or corporation or whatever for in the United States, so that way you have a United States address, right? I have a dispatcher under me who's in the Dominican Republic, but the company is registered in the United States, so they're still able to access DAT load boards, right? And that's international. So just to give you guys a little bit of a understanding to how that really works. But anyways, let's get right into it. Number one, this is the advice I used to give. You can find a family member or a friend who has a trucking company. Now, some of you might say, well, I don't have any family members or friends. Slow down. This is for some of you, it might help you. You can find a family member or a friend who will allow you to have access to their subscription. Now, here's the thing. On DAT, you're able to add users. So you could tell your relative or your friend or somebody, an associate that you know has a trucking company, hey, is it okay if I use your MC number to gain access to the load board? If they already have a load board subscription on DAT, you can tell them, hey, is it possible that you could create an extra user, and I'll reimburse you for that fee that they charge you, and I'll even reimburse you for whatever they charge you, just to make the deal a little bit better. That's option number one. You could do that. Now, let's say you say, I don't have any family or friends in the trucking industry. The second thing you can do is this. When you go and scout and look for new carriers to sign on to your independent freight dispatch company, just be open and transparent with them. Say, hey, listen, here's my circumstances right now. I don't have access to the load board due to the new laws or whatever. Hey, is it okay that you add me as an admin on your DAT subscription? If they don't have one, then you could just say, hey, can we just add one? And once again, reimburse them. Now, some of you might say, well, what happens if they go ahead and you guys no longer work with each other? Well, then that's fine. They take you off of their subscription. But sometimes you might come across a carrier that allows you to, you guys stick together for a decent amount of time, maybe even if it's 5 to 6 months or whatever the case may be, where you have access to that load board. And while you're on the load board, your goal is to build relationships with brokers. That way your dependency on the load board becomes less and less and less. And that's a whole other topic. We discuss those kinds of things in our independent freight dispatcher course, which, guys, this isn't a sales video. You know, most of my videos, I give a lot of free game. I'm not pitching our freight dispatcher course at you, but there's a lot of people who do email me and ask me if we even have a course, which means I don't really, I guess, talk about it enough on my videos. We do offer an independent freight dispatcher course right now. We have it for $269.99. Guys, take advantage of that sale. It's currently probably the best price right now for the quality information that we give. And the price may go up in the next few months or so, maybe the next year, who knows, right? But it's a independent freight dispatcher course. It's pre-recorded. There's 6 class videos. You watch each video chronologically. Then we have bonus videos, and then we have templates, and then we have notes, and we have a bunch of stuff that goes in, terminology, cheat sheet, and you get access to a private Facebook group. So we give that. We also have a startup kit. And anyways, guys, I'll put the link for that in the description under this video so you can guys go check it out at your own time. We have tons of great reviews. We've sold over 700 courses. We're not just some random people who came out of nowhere. We've been around for at least 2 years now, and we've sold, like I said, over 700 courses. So a lot of people have enjoyed the content and enjoyed the courses and have learned a bunch of information out of them. We also give mentorship. Once again, those are things that you can go into the description under this video and access the links. Also, follow us on our Instagram page where we do daily updates and stuff like that, and you'll be able to reach out to us through DM and all that good stuff. Okay, just keep in mind, guys, independent freight dispatching was an industry before DAT even allowed us access directly to the load board. And guess what? It's going to be an industry even now that they said we don't have access. All right? So I'll leave you with this last thought. Here's my personal opinion. The reason why DAT allowed it was because I'm not going to name drop a prominent person in the industry who has taught freight dispatching and things like that. Connected with them, they probably gave it a shot and realized we don't know how to filter out the scammers who are given access now. And so they probably realized that, and said, you know what, we have to relinquish this. I believe that the FMCSA is in the works of possibly, I'm just giving my thoughts and my opinions, don't quote me on it, possibly figuring out a way to make sure that independent freight dispatchers get licensed in some way through an operating authority number. Who knows? Maybe a certificate. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I can see it happening because they're trying to filter out the scammers and people who are on there creating a mess. And so that's why I believe DAT stopped independent freight dispatchers from having access. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Put your guys' thoughts in the comments. Other than that, guys, do me a favor, comment, like again, like I said, if you didn't do it yet, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.